Hello, hola, bonjour, how do, or if you're southern, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Or top of the morning in certain areas.
How are you? You all right?
I'm all right, cock. Yeah, it's a pre-record this one instead. We've gone for a bit of a different switch up, but I'm so glad to have absolutely two Clarets legends with me as well. Dan, tell us a bit about yourself, you gorgeous bugger. Yeah, how long you supported Burnley, and give us your favourite goal as well.
Uh, okay, Dan, exiled down in Devon. It's not my fault. Took on the turf at 2.5 years old, now 54, so work out the maths yourself. It's been a long time. Best goal, wow. My biggest problem is I don't remember half of it, and I can't even blame alcohol on that, boys. But I'd have to say that, and I know it's really current, but Fleming's against Wolves. I mean, the way he brought it, he hit that on the volley from such a long range. That cross pass, that was just sublime. And he just took the edge off it, didn't he? He didn't welly it. He just let his foot put it in the right place. Do you know what I mean? It was just banging. So
It was.
that's me.
It was. Good to get you on as well. Can't believe we finally done it. And everyone will remember that little Irish face down there.
Yeah.
Slack
English.
by name, slack by nature. Uh, more to the point, Joe. Again, for some people that probably will tune in and haven't seen you around before, again, tell people a bit about yourself and probably one of your favourite goals as well.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Joey. I am self-exiled. I live in Northern Ireland now. Moved over here 3 years ago. And absolutely love it, to be fair. Just do miss going on turf as often. My favourite goal, I don't know. Possibly, probably Gary Parkinson at Wembley, 1994.
Shout. Good
Yeah,
shout.
I think probably most memorable for me. Started supporting Burnley around about 1990.
That's the one
So
where celebration is sort of like running and celebrating, like jumping about.
yeah, I don't know what his celebration were about. Little hurdle over sponsor boards, but yeah, no. Score at Wembley, you can do what you want, can't you? I'm not judging nobody.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Um, yeah, it's going to be a different one. We're going to talk about the Wolves game just a little bit. I know we did the match review the other night on Monday, but I've got to get these guys' opinions on it because it's not often, as a Burnley fan in the Premier League, we can shout about having two wins on the bounce. Also, it's the first away win of the season for us. Hopefully, there's going to be many more this year. Dan, I'll come to you first. Thoughts on the game in general? Obviously, well, we'll dissect it. First half, give us your first half opinion.
Well, I mean, first 20 minutes, was it? First 20 minutes, half an hour. I mean, just sublime, wasn't it? What I thought was interesting is we weren't playing obvious passes. We stopped passing it across, across the back so much on the floor all the time, and all of a sudden we were just pinging balls across the pitch, left to right, right to left. I mean, it was great to watch. It was fabulous. Needless to say, 2 goals up. Then what happens? There's a lot of debate, isn't there? Personal opinion wasn't a penalty for Wolves. How he didn't see the player's foot coming in. How can he be done for kicking the player's foot? Both of them were watching the ball. To me, that's clear as day. At the same time, it really is a 50-50 when he gets his goal down the other end. Fleming's second, wasn't it? So, but that really shook us, didn't it? Which
Mm.
I understand. There's got to be some nerves, I think, when you're in a first half like that. In our first season back in the Prem, and there's got to be some nerves hit you when that happens at 2-2. But all in all, I still went in at half time thinking, look, we can come out and we can, well, we can do this, can't we? It's not a problem.
No, definitely. I mean, obviously, Dan's mentioned the Fleming goal up there with amongst his favourites. It were a cracking finish, weren't it? I mean, we'll take it back before, even just before the goal, the ball by Hartman in to even see that run of Fleming. Yeah, give us your thoughts on the goal and obviously Fleming's second in the run up to that.
I mean, I think the thing that's exciting me the most at the moment is we're talking about Hartman's cross like that when we've got Walker that can do it from the right to the left as well. I
Yeah,
mean, our two fullbacks are picking out passes like we haven't seen in a long time, if ever. I mean, some of their pinpoint accuracy is just nuts. You sort of saw it coming in a way. You saw the ball and you were like, surely not. I don't know. I was sort of almost sat with my mouth open, thinking, this is not going to happen, and it did. I mean, and I think it. I don't know what you think, boys, but I think in a way it almost looked too easy, which I think shows how good a strike it was. Because
Yeah,
we're not talking, the ball coming down in I don't know. It was just perfect to me. The weight that the sting, should I say, sorry, that he took off the ball, in guiding it into the net was just sublime. And in a way, I think if he'd wellied it, that's another one over the top in it, and we all scream
yeah.
and But it was just perfect to me. It was sublime from and also, isn't it great to score a one touch goal? Bang bang goal done. We don't need to play fancy football. Let's remember that. Not when you've got Hartman and Walker on your back.
No, 100%. I mean,
beautifully.
the thing I come to you with, Joey, is then obviously Hartman and Fleming involved in the second goal. Good, well worked pass from Cullen to pick out um, Hartman as well. But again, Hartman using that initiative, knowing that Fleming's still got that, strength to beat off that last defender, to get around him and shrug him off, because it was checked, wasn't it? It was checked by VAR, thinking they were a
Yeah,
foul. But yeah, talk us through that second goal.
yeah. To be honest, I thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought it was going to be given a foul, and had it been given a foul, I wouldn't have argued either.
Check
To be
club
honest with
badge.
you. Hey.
Check club badge.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, not just club badge. No, to be honest, I wouldn't have seen it as harsh had it been disallowed. I think it is 6-1.5 a dozen of another, but he has dragged him round. But we got away with one, I think, and deservedly so. We need that. Take nothing away from him though. To show what he had there, and then the goal that he scored, to have the confidence to just do that. And I didn't think he'd do that. I thought he's going to he's going to bring it down, control it, maybe hold it up. To do that, at that stage of the game, where
Something
we're at,
else, weren't it? Something else.
to get it, just to get your nose there and to get everything in front, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'll stay with you, Joey. The penalty. Dan's given his thoughts on it. What are your thoughts? It's definitely very, 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 very soft. I've heard some Burnley fans say it is a pen. I've heard some say it's not. Um,
Yeah,
Again, it
I'm in
depends how
the.
you want to see it. Depends
Yeah,
what coloured
I'm
pair of
in, yeah,
glasses you're
I'm in
wearing.
the. It is a penalty camp. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, there's no intention there, that's for sure, and it is 50-50. But he's come off 60-40 against.
Yeah.
It's one of them things. It is just genuine mistake, but it is to me a penalty, and I can't disagree with that.
Oh,
I
and
may be in the minority there, but that's just my
well,
opinion.
hey, mate, that's it. Opinions are like arseholes, and we've all got them.
Everyone's got one, yeah.
Correct.
And some run more than others.
Obviously, their second goal just on the stroke of half time,
Well,
absolute
weren't it?
killer.
Yeah, we needed
Something
half
out of
time before
nothing.
that, didn't we?
Something out of nothing. How they managed to get themselves in and around that area. Even just the ball in the box from the second ball. We didn't defend well enough. And then Manetzi at the back, that header that just takes it away from Dubravka, who's already thinking it's going to go past my post here and has
Hmm.
to react late. Dan, I'll come to you. What obviously, I know you said your thoughts at half time. You still thought we could get something, but how much of a sucker punch was that when you have that 2-goal advantage already?
Minutes. It's the worst case scenario in a way, isn't it? Right at the end as well. Going at 2-1, you're still, you're all right, aren't you? I'm going to be really controversial here. I can't see Dubravka saving a penalty this season. It just, I don't think penalty saving is Dubravka's forte, from what I can tell from through his career. But so I wasn't expecting anything. I was expecting penalty. We go 2-2. That's it. But look, I still thought we could shake ourselves down a bit. And I don't know if you boys had seen Keep the Faith last week, but to see
Yeah.
Parker in the dressing room before and the Leeds half time, do you know what I mean? I just sort of thought to myself, we're all right. Wolves are dodgy. Let's be honest. They're struggling. The crowd. I mean, what a noise! But then they just shut up because they know they're in trouble again. And so yeah, I expected more second half, but yeah, I wasn't distraught. I don't, I mean, you're always going to get some of the lads are a bit like, that's it, we've had it, we're rubbish, look, we'd had a great half an hour, maybe a bit complacent, maybe thought it was going too well, maybe we relaxed a bit and we're thinking 3, 4, 5, and it's the Premier League, don't matter who you're playing.
No, I mean the one chance I'm going to mention as well, Joey, for you that was in the first half that I haven't mentioned was the Brun Larson one where the defender sort of let it go over his head, and if Brun Larson got a sort of a lower touch on it and Sam Johnson didn't get his hand to it, we could have been looking at being 3-0 up at that point. Again, good save by the man from Preston, but yeah, it's again Brun Larson. I mean, what have you thought of him? Because a lot of people have got have got doubts about Brun Larson this year.
I didn't have doubts when we signed him back. I'll be honest with you. I thought great signing, bringing him back, but going off his play, I do have doubts this season. I'm not sure what he offers to the team at the moment. I don't know if it's because if he's being played out of position or if there's something else. I don't know, but he doesn't seem the player that he was. But hopefully that will change.
No, hopefully. Second half came about. It was again quite an open first 10 minutes of that second. In fact, I think we had a good opening, probably up until the 60th minute. I thought we gave a really good account of ourselves, but then Wolves put on that pressure. We sort of ran on the back foot until Parker made those changes. I think the wake-up call for me from us came when I think the Wolves player, I can't remember his name, I think it was Arias, hit the free kick that hit the crossbar.
Great
And
free
that
kick.
really was one of those that was like, we were a bit like, oh shit, how do we get ourselves out of the mire here? What did you make of Burnley's comeback, the substitutions? I'll go to you, Dan, because a lot of people have question marked Hannibal this year. He's a liability. He's not going to, we saw the, allegedly accusations against Leeds. But he came on and he shut his doubters up and kept his head down and got on with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd seen me, boys, it's quite funny because I saw him on the touchline. I had my dad watching with me at the time, and I was screaming at my dad, "Don't bring him on! How can you bring him on? What all that's going to happen is we're going to go down to 10 men. He's going to give a penalty away. We're going to lose 3-2." And I was so doom and gloom, and in a way, um, I like Hannibal. I really do. But I'm just getting a bit fed up that he doesn't seem to be able to just, calm that head a bit. He just
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be able to do it. Against Leeds, that tackle he did on the sideline, and then
Oh,
he sort of jumps up and goes at the guy and gets a yellow for it. It's like there was no need for it. Even if the guy had made a meal of a tackle that was a good tackle, he didn't even give a second to see if the ref was giving it. And so, yeah, I was a bit like, surely not, surely not. And talking
he's a
about other
passionate
subs,
player,
and I
I
mean,
love him for that. He's passionate, and that with
yeah,
Leeds player, there could have been history from last season. You don't know. It was all verbal.
yeah,
He's not gone in. He's not gone over aggressively. It looks aggressive, but it's verbal. That's all it is. you know.
Yeah,
He got a bookie for
I
it.
don't disagree.
But it's
I
part of who
don't
he is, isn't it?
disagree that
Part
the
of his
guy.
game. He's a younger, more vicious Ashley Barnes.
It's the pantomime villain, isn't it?
He is, yeah.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah,
you know,
which we need, and I've got no problem with that whatsoever. But I mean, talking about the other subs, I mean, it's interesting because when you look back on the game, we're nearly, we're a few days away now, and you sort of think, do you know what? I actually love the fact that Parker at 2-2 seemed to genuinely go, look, default position. We're not quite got a hold of the game anymore. We're maybe a bit back to the wall. We do not want to lose. And I know
yeah.
that's hard, and it was hard for me live at the time, thinking, "What? Come on, there's no reason we can't take these guys out." But I actually, looking back, I like that. And so, okay, look, and I almost wonder if it was a masterstroke. Was it almost like lure them into the false sense of five at the back, and we're just going to boot everything out the box that comes in, and we're going to defend, and almost lure them into thinking, they've given up,
Come and press,
and
press
invite
forward
them
on him.
on to us. But
Yeah.
then that last 5-10 minute, actually, guess what we're going to do? Bring Hannibal on, you know, was just, it was almost, I don't know, you'd have to ask him, wouldn't you, and would he admit it? But it was a masterstroke, wasn't it? Because we hit them and they were genuinely like, where's that come from? So
Yeah,
You
Hannibal
know,
yeah,
one
injected a
thing,
bit of life into it.
Parker could have been,
yeah,
Parker could have been like, rubbish, you lost that for us. How could you,
Mm.
what a knife edge, isn't it?
it is. And the one thing I'm very happy that we saw was in his substitutions, he did not take off a striker for a striker. I actually thought we got to see Fleming and Foster play together, or at least one play behind the other, etc.
Yeah.
And it was like, what? Oh my God, is this actually happening? Are my eyes deceiving me? Completely made up for Lyle Foster. A completely different player in the Premier League to the Championship. I said the same with Barnes when we first signed him as well. But you know, the composure there to just again nip him behind the last defender. It's an inch perfect ball again from Hannibal, and we reap the rewards. Joy.
So, fantastic goal. If you watch it, and if you get to watch it back again, just watch Lyle Foster telling Hannibal where he wants it as he's making his curve run to come back onside. For Hannibal to just spot it and say, yeah, we're going. And like you say, the touch then past the keeper just to stroke it home at that time of the game, just the composure. Fair play to him. I think he's a player that works on confidence, and he needed that goal. But I think that's going to be the start, and it should just book him up, and I think we'll get a few more from him now.
Hopefully, starting this weekend. But in typical Burnley fashion, we nearly got and chuck it away at the other end. Santi Bueno with a chance. Dubravka with one of, if not the save of the season, because the shot from Bueno
It's
came with
behind it.
some venom behind it. There was some pace behind that ball. How he's managed to pull that save off, again, it goes back to the Leeds game where it's sort of clipped under his arm and it's come off the post. What is it with Dubravka at the moment? Just everything he seems to touch pays off, doesn't it, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching today. Official have interviewed him and asked him for his best save of what they deem his top three this season, and he himself says, against Wolves, that's his best save that he's made so far. He seemed to be almost going the wrong way, didn't he? Not the wrong way, but he was ready to go to the right.
Yeah, like his body had
You know what I
shifted that
mean?
direction, but then he knew
Yeah,
he had to sort of come back on himself.
yeah. I mean, just absolute. And he said himself, it was a bit more, obviously, that sort of pace. It was pure reaction, and you know, um, in a way, there's always a bit of luck, isn't there? And some of the best saves, there's always a bit of luck involved, and he had that. But he had to be in the right place, and he had to, like you say, he had to turn from almost going to the right. He had to get his body to the left, and yeah, fabulous, fabulous. I mean, people talk about Walker. It's touch and go what the best signing of the season is so far, isn't it? Come on, Dubravka
Yeah.
Walker, Dubravka Walker. Two different reasons, but wow. When you think of the money we spent on them, There's a lot of very jealous Premier League teams, I reckon.
Definitely.
Very, very. Joey, 2 wins on the bounce. A first league away win. We've now got Arsenal coming to the turf, which, I mean, is it a free hit? I mean, the form that they are
100%.
in,
Yeah.
it's almost a, can Burnley get anything? Do you fancy our chances being at home?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do fancy us chances. Even against City, I know the scoreline didn't reflect it, but we were never out of the game at City. In fact, there were large parts of the game we were in control of the game, I thought, albeit from behind, but we were still in control of the game and playing how we wanted to play. Liverpool, Man United, we've not been out of a game yet this season, and I don't think for 1 minute against Arsenal we're going to be out of the game either. But we do something against them, surely. We've got to be.
Yeah, it does have to be. Daniel Sodding Milner. Never thought I'd have you down as a stat man. He's a stat man.
Stato.
But yeah, Dan, you've got some stats for us. Fire away, son. Fire away.
Well, it's not as bad as maybe you think looking at it. Looking at the PremierLeague.com at the moment, they put some good stats up. And when we've hosted Arsenal at Turf, 47 games played, we've actually got the edge. We've won 18, they've won 17, 12 draws, and goals. We're actually level. So it's not. Come on, we dream with Burnley. We always dream, and someone this season, as every season, someone in that top 5, top 6 is going to get beat by Burnley. I'm absolutely certain of it. Now,
Sunderland.
Arsenal. I haven't got the stat. Funnily enough,
Well
Mr.
done.
Stat Man, I haven't got the stat, but I was hearing in midweek or earlier this week that Arsenal's goals from open play are less than ours. Their goals are coming from set
Wow.
pieces, and we're not horrendous at defending set pieces. If we can nullify that threat, dare we dream that we've got the chance to nick in it, a la Liverpool earlier on.
Yeah.
We're going to need our
That's
centre
not
backs and
that's
full backs to be on point. It's going to have to. We know that. But we have the quality.
absolutely.
Esteve, absolutely class.
See, it worried me after that City game though, because I think even the next game, which was it Villa after City, where I just
Yeah.
felt he was still a little bit ropey there, and I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know whether that City game really knocked his confidence, but like I say, these 2 wins will have, stood him in really good stead. And like I say, at Turf Moor, we seem to do all right. Like I say, we've got so close to within, grabbing a point against Liverpool. I know I'm touching on away from home because we're playing against these top teams, but at United we should have had something. A draw's 3 points for us, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hear what people are saying about a free hit. None of us like to get beat, but it is a free hit. And as long as we can not let it get to us, as long as the lads are, realist about, we're playing Arsenal, we're at home, Arsenal are unbeaten in how many games now? Look, at the end of the day, defend hard. We're going back to a back 5. I imagine we're going to come out like we did against Liverpool, like we did against City, and that worked for a while against City. Remember, let's forget the final score. We didn't do too bad for quite a while against City. And we all know Arteta hates Turf Moor. He always has something to whinge and moan about. So let's really let's turn the noise up and make it horrible for them. That's what I say.
Well,
Definitely.
I
Crowd would
don't
have a
think the
massive
grass has
part
been
to
cut
play.
all week.
No, I've heard they've not cut it. And they've had them heat lamps on extra. They've had them running through day and everything. 24/7, them heat lamps. Like a wilderness out there.
Honestly, people from Yorkshire don't. They're like, "What? Heat lamps? What? Turn it off. Save money." But not looking at it. Is there anywhere in that Arsenal team that you sort of feel that we can punish them? Any areas? I mean, obviously, our wing backs are very good at crossfield balls. So maybe if they're focusing on man marking, that's something we could potentially utilise. Is there any sort of players that stand out for you at Arsenal that could really cause us some damage?
I think everyone can cause us damage, can't they?
Yeah,
To be fair, we're just going to have to be on our game defensively. We know that. Probably going to have to soak up pressure for large amounts of the game. Do expect us to try and hit Arsenal on the break. You've got Walker and Hartman both with pace who can get forward at the drop of a hat, really. So that's how I expect us to be playing, and I don't see a real problem with that game plan either, to be honest with you.
Dan, your thoughts?
I got to be honest. I'm one of the rare football fans that never watches anybody else if he can help it, and so I
Yeah,
haven't particularly watched Arsenal this season. But I sort of see them win 1-0 at home. Was it Palace? And I'm like, they're not exactly lighting the Premier League on fire at the minute, are they? And I think more than anything, Liverpool and Man City are losing it rather than Arsenal necessarily going out there and winning it at the moment. For me, that's my take on it. So look, they don't score. I don't want to say this, boys. I don't want to say it out loud. They don't
You
score
don't.
a lot of goals.
5-0
I
coming
know
in.
I've said it, Joey. I know I've said it, mate. I know, but look, we're here to try and grab at something. I genuinely think that we can pull something out of the game. And you give me a 0-0 and a point, and I'll come out of turf like we've just beaten 5-0 because that'd just be brilliant.
yeah,
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I
No, I
agree.
agree. I mean, looking. Go on, sorry, Joey.
No, we're just agreeing that was all, 100%.
No, I was just looking at their next few batches of fixtures. Obviously, they play Brighton tonight in the fourth round of the Carabao, which should be kicking off in probably the next 3 or 4 minutes. As this is being recorded Wednesday night, by the way. Obviously, us on Saturday. Then they've got another Tuesday game away so they could potentially rest players. They're away at Slavia Prague on Tuesday night. Then they've got Sunderland away. Then they're at home to Spurs. Then they're at home to Bayern Munich. Then away to Chelsea. They've got a strong, some very strong opposition. Teams that aren't going to lie down and bend over backwards for them. It's going to be a very, very, very tough game, and it's one I'm sort of quietly looking forward to. Obviously, I'm also hoping, well, let's just get this out the way and then go and trouse West Ham. But you know, that's all we can. That's all we can hope for. I'll come to you guys with one or two more points. Then, Joey, you first. Who's been a standout? And I know we can say if we were to rule out Dubravka, Hartman, and Walker, any unsung hero in this team really for you?
I'm a big Hannibal fan. To be honest with you, I do think he's going to be worth his weight in gold. I'll be honest, I do. Esteve is class, although not technically this season signing, I suppose, but still player. You know, you can't really say Parker's made a bad signing. To be honest with you,
No.
there's no one that really stands out as a bad signing to me. Maybe Worrell, bit of a pointless signing, not necessarily a bad signing, but
If I had to say one that's sort of been a little bit iffy, probably Edwards.
again, I still think he has the quality, and
He
maybe come
does, but
later on
it's
in the
just whether
season, he'll
he.
be pivotal for us.
Yeah,
I can only assume he's not playing down to fitness levels. I don't know.
well, could be. Any unsung hero for you, Dan?
I'll just touch on that, Joey, quickly, because what intrigues me is we're playing JBL. He got cramp against Leeds. He stayed out for the entire half-time break against
Yeah,
Wolves.
yeah.
Um,
Presumably
and the
not to get
discussion
crap
I've
again.
heard is because he needed to keep moving. They didn't want him to, they didn't want him to stop. And yet we're not,
Not bringing Edwards
we're
on.
playing him, and we're not playing anybody else. We're not playing Edwards. I mean, Edwards must be really unfit if JBL
Fair point. Yeah,
is
fair.
taking him.
I
But
was going to say,
anyway,
didn't we even bring Brozier on and play him sort of out wide against Villa in the dying minutes as well?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm finding it all a bit weird at the minute. We're not even going to touch on Magic Mike. But I mean, unsung heroes. Going back to your point, Dan. For me, I mean, Josh Cullen. I
Yeah,
know we all know what he does, but I mean, he's took the armband this year, and he just seems to have gone up a step again. You know,
yeah,
he's everywhere, and I mean, we talk about Walker with his experience and Dubravka with his experience, and they're keeping the young lads' heads, and all this. But you watch Cullen, there are times when Cullen's telling Walker, but Walker's taking it because I think there's a real respect
The
amongst fellow
mutual respect.
professionals. Josh Cullen is just absolutely. I mean, he's supreme in my opinion. He mops up at the back, and next thing you know, he's putting a ball through at the front. So yeah, unsung hero for me would be Cullen.
Good
yeah.
shout. Good shout.
I think
It makes it look simple, doesn't it?
he does.
Yeah,
He does.
You know, he does everything right. Just does the basics. He knows his position, and it's nice, simple ball every single time.
Yeah. No, spot on. Spot on. I'm gonna have to give someone different now. I were gonna go Josh Cullen, but I'm gonna you know what? I'll if I had to pick somebody out, I'm gonna go Ugachukwu. I'm gonna say it, as another
What is it you
counterpart.
say?
Um, I've been learning it. I've been beatboxing to it for a while, but I think it's a tough one between him and Florentino because I think Florentino
Yeah,
Luis he's almost like our modern day George Boyd. Just does not get the credit for the job that he does. Whether it's off the ball, peeling people away, to create those open pockets of space. But yeah, for me, Ugachukwu has come on leaps and bounds as well as a player. He's come out and said that, you know, he's learned a lot from Josh Cullen, even in his short time of being here. And you think this is a bloke who's come from, the foreign leagues, played at Chelsea, had the chance to be along, players of very high pedigree. And yet he sat there saying that he's learnt a lot from Josh Cullen. And it just makes you realise that we've got a team that plays for each other, that's willing
yeah.
to help each other learn and grow more than the only thing they want to grow is their pay packet and a transfer away, etc. It's these big clubs. So yeah, I would have said Josh Cullen. I think that's probably my the top dog, but I'd give it his counterpart Ugachukwu. Like you say, for those that you mentioned, Magic Mark again. Where is he? Where is he? Honestly, where's Wally is just the same thing as where's Trezor. That's what Burnley should release, a where's Trezor book in the club shop.
Oh, they should. Just picture him, stick him in crowd every now and again. Try and find him alongside.
Do you know what?
I'm going to put one in there.
Go on.
I'm going to put one in there, boys. One to watch. To Anzabi.
Yes.
He came in, if I'm right, against Villa, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you touched on it earlier, Dan. I don't know how much Estev was rebounding off the City game as much as he suddenly lost his partner in the middle. He was in a back with a lad he's not played with yet, in competitive, and they both looked lost. They both looked lost. But I have to say, I watched them, Sunday, and I did think that we've got, dare I suggest, a bit of a CJ going on here. Had a bit of a shaky first game, was all right second, still not convinced, but I did sort of feel, hang on a minute, he put some proper stops in, good distribution, good work against Wolves, So I just think one to watch there. Not an unsung hero yet, but maybe we've just actually picked a little gem again, and could him and Estev become that pair that we've started the season missing, maybe.
Well, yeah, because I thought it were a bit harsh on Ekdal because I didn't think Ekdal had really even put that much of a foot wrong. So it was a bit harsh, but I think you can see how much stronger we look with Tuanzebe in there. So yeah, that's a great shout, and it's nice to see CJ who obviously buggered off to Marseille has only had 2 starts all season. So no,
Grass isn't always greener, is it?
it's
Might be
not.
a bit
It's not
sunny, but it's
indeed.
not Turf Moor.
It's not. It's not. Never forget your roots. That's all I'll say. But no, the last question I've got for you guys is I'll come to you, Joey, first. Score prediction for Saturday. What you saying?
Tough one. I want to say we're going to get some, and
Right, what's your heart saying and what's your head saying?
yeah. So right, my heart's saying 2-1 Burnley win. My head's saying 2-1 defeat. So we'll go 2-1 either way, and stick my head on. Try and edge my bets if I can. Just be a bit cheeky. At
You
least we're
know,
not drawing.
I'll throw it in there that Arsenal go 1-0 up as well. So it just makes it look like an even better win when we go and score 2 against them after being 1-0 down for a bulk of game. But yeah, Dan,
That would be
what
class.
you thinking? It would be absolutely mint.
Right, you two know me really well, and I've got a 9-year-old daughter that comes up all the way from Devon to watch every home match with me. And when she watches this back, Dan, which she's going to do because I won't be able to get her off of YouTube, she's about to shout at the screen because I never, ever give a prediction. I just don't do it because I know that I'm just going to be upset or disappointed at the end. I never get it right. So you've put me on under the spot, but you also both know that I like to play the negatives and the positives, and and all the rest of it. So I'm going to go that Arsenal beat us,
Yeah,
because that means there's a really good chance that we're going to beat Arsenal. So I'm going to say that Arsenal beat us 2-1, and you can take that, as you wish.
after yours and James's comments recently, mate, I'm going to take that as gospel. So don't you worry about that. Um, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet and say we get beat 3-1. But
Be a good game.
obviously, it should be a good game as long as we show enough bottle and enough metal in the game to at least give them a game.
Yeah.
I
Got a
mean,
good account of ourselves and turn up, basically.
yeah. I mean,
Which,
anything at all in this game on Saturday is just a bonus. You know,
100%.
I think if we was to take this game away and we would have been playing, after Leeds, we had Wolves, West Ham. Would have said 4 points. That'd be buzzing. So we wouldn't have even looked at this game. Like I say, would have been going to West Ham hoping for a point. So now I don't know. I'm gonna say the head and heart. Like I say, head says 3-1 Arsenal. Heart saying, but Burnley to nick it 1-0 in dying minutes. The tables turn.
Handball.
Yeah.
Ball better play or something. VAR cocks up. Power
That's what I
outage to
mean.
all the cameras.
Ball goes out for a throw-in, but referee's watch goes off and gives a goal to Burnley because it were in their half, in Arsenal half. I'll take anything. No, I appreciate it, chaps. Thank you very, very much for giving us your perspectives and stuff like that. If people are enjoying what they're seeing, enjoying what they're doing, the fact we're getting more Clarets involved, like I say, feel free to drop us a message, get yourself involved, and we'll chinwag and chat all things Burnley as you would in the pub or with your mates in the street, whatever you and however you like to do it. Please do get in touch. But again, Dan, Joey, really appreciate it. I'll speak to you in a second off camera. But yeah, thank you very much, people, for watching. Get your predictions in. Let us know how you think this game is going to go this weekend. You can put them in the comment section of this video. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have got to say. But until then, let's hope for let's be realistic. Let's hope for a point. If we
Yeah.
get 3, buzzing. But yeah, there might be a potential watch along this weekend. I don't know. I'm undecided. Either way, up the Clarets, boys. Up the
Then,
sodding
just before you
Clarets.
go, just
Go
could
on.
I just be a bit cheeky and promote Chummery Athletic? And if you
Go
can
for it,
give them a
Mosh.
follow on Facebook, honestly, if you just follow them on Facebook or on X and just keep up to date with the club, they're an absolutely fantastic club. You know, they're like a family more than a club. And they have a weekly lotto on there that you can play online. It's only £1 a go, not much if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, don't do it. You could win a couple of grand, but all proceeds go towards the club and to supporting the players.
No, happy days. And
Thank you.
obviously, you'll hear a lot more about Chummery as we go on with this podcast as well in the next couple of months. So please do go show your support there. And guess what? They're playing Claret Blue as well. Get in! Get in! So yeah, up the Clarets this weekend. Let's hope for a result. Please do show your support. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks
Thank
for
you very much.
watching.
So yeah.